The build to AEW Revolution is rapidly accelerating now, and we're getting closer and closer, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this week we're going to be talking AEW Collision, especially Andrade El Idolo versus Tomohiro Ishii. On the Dynamite side, we'll be looking at 3 world title fights this week. We're looking at the AEW world title, the women's world title, and the AEW trios title. So looking forward to chatting to you more about that. On the channel too this week, we had Match Review Monday with Lena Cross versus Ash by Elegance from World Series Wrestling. Next week, we'll be looking at Bullet Club versus The Kingdom from ROH New Japan War of the Worlds in 2015. So forward to talking to you more about that. So if you could like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And now let's get into the Collision review. So this week's Collision kicked off in the classic Collision style. We had the Death Riders, and that was Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta, and they are against the Don Callis family, that being Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Rocky Marrero, and Trent Beretta. So we had Mox on commentary for this one, and I did enjoy how while the Don Callis family was coming out, the Death Riders were doing some push-ups there, keeping warm. I like that. It's got that sports element to it. There was some really strong protection in this match of the beanie on Wheeler Yuta's head, which I quite enjoyed. Offense-wise, Pac had a really nice German suplex on Josh Alexander. We did see some chops there by Josh Alexander on Pac. We did see from Roppongi Vice there some double knees, and I did enjoy Rocky's sliced bread on Yuta. Claudio, he's going to bring his uppercuts, and I did enjoy where he did uppercuts into the giant swing and where he intercepted Trent in the air. Marina Shafir did jump onto Lance Archer at one stage, which was a lot of fun, and I did enjoy the running shots into Lance Archer into the corner. So Death Riders had some really good fun there. Ultimately, here we did see the Wheeler Yuta. He was hit by Rocky with the sliced bread, but Yuta was able to use the Busako knee to get the win. So good fun opener there. Always good to see these guys. Lots of different combinations. And we'll see where this one goes heading towards Revolution. So the next match for Collision this week was Tommaso Ciampa versus Jay Lethal, and I did enjoy the video package before this, highlighting their time together in Ring of Honor. So Ciampa brought a lot of great energy to start this match. I did enjoy how Ciampa took out Lee Johnson and Blake Christian on the outside, because that was an element he didn't have. He was on his own. We did see Blake Christian before that sliding into the ring there. Now, Jay Lethal did send Tommaso Ciampa over the announce table. We did see some chops there from Jay Lethal that sent Tommaso Ciampa down. We saw the lethal combination. I did enjoy the chops by Ciampa on the top turnbuckle as well. And we did see some good chops back and forth. We did see a nice cutter hit there by Jay, and the lethal injection was tried to be hit, but it was countered by a very nice backbreaker. We did see a knee strike by Ciampa, and then the running knee to get the win here. So this was a really fun match, and this is sort of stuff I enjoy on Collision. We did see the third match here on Collision, and that was the Brawling Birds getting a bit of a showcase match here. So I did enjoy in the crowd the Let's Go Birds chants. We saw some really nice combination there, which did end in a boot as well. And we did see more chops. So Collision with the chops here. Jamie Hader hitting the chops in the corner. Alex Windsor hitting chops. And then we had a double chop combination. So thank you. I really appreciate that from the Birds. The winner here was the Two Birds, One Stone finisher. So this is a really good showcase for them. And like I keep saying, I really want to see them with the tag titles soon. The fourth match here for Collision was Proto Carter, and that, as you would know, is Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher, and they are against Top Flight, and that is Darius and Dante Martin. So offense-wise, I did enjoy the double kick here by Proto Carter. Okada had a DDT on the outside. I thought Top Flight did have some nice combinations with their tags. I thought Darius brought some really good energy in this match, and once he got rolling, I really enjoyed that. Kyle Fletcher, thank you again, bringing those chops in the corner, and he's had a really crisp kick there. We also did see really nice tandem Angels wings too by Top Flight, and I enjoy that with Christopher Daniels being their manager. Now, Okada did hit the Rainmaker here, but he did quite generously give Kyle Fletcher the tag, which then allowed him to hit the brainbuster for the win. So we're building this story between Proto Carter and Proto Sheeta. I still think we're on a trajectory of Takeshita versus Okada, perhaps for the unified title. I do hope they bring that back and just keep those titles as one. But yeah, had some good fun with this one too. The fifth match for Collision was Timeless Tony Storm and Zeta Steel. So great to see Zeta Steel getting some more spotlight here, whether it's on Ring of Honor or on Collision. Great prospect too. So we saw some really nice snap German suplexes by Tony. There was 3 of those. You're always going to see the hip attack from Tony as well. Zeta did have a uh, very nice shotgun drop kick, and I did enjoy her tope suicida and crossbody she used as well. Tony did get the win here with the Storm Zero for the win. Now, we did see at the end here Marina Shafir coming out for an attack, and Tony did remove that beanie that had been so well protected at the early parts of Collision tonight. So, good fun there. Really keen to see Marina Shafir and Tony Storm. Maybe it's a match for Revolution, maybe not. I'd like to see that built more for maybe Dynasty as well. I think that would be really good. So the sixth match for Collision this week was the Sisters of Sin versus Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa. So I thought the Sisters of Sin had some really good combinations here. Thunder Rosa bringing the chops again, thank you so much. Chris Statlander wrestled like someone who was really possessed, and she hit a really nice lariat. One thing I do enjoy with the Sisters of Sin is how they do the tarantula hold, Julia Hart's tarantula hold. And what I enjoyed about that this week particularly was how Sky Blue added the drop kick into that. So that's a combination I'd like to see them continue with. Thunder Rosa had a really nice basement drop kick and a cutter as well. Now, both Julia Hart and especially Sky Blue, the thrust kicks are really enjoyable. And I think that's some weaponry they really need to hone into. We did see Statlander get the win here. Was a combination between the Saturday Night Fever and Thunder Rosa combined there for the win. But that was good fun. I think people generally enjoyed this tag match. We are heading towards Tekla versus Thunder Rosa, and we'll see what else plays in with Statlander. And then the main event for Collision this week, which was my match of Collision, was Andrade versus Tomohiro Ishii. So I always enjoy Big Tom. He's good fun. We saw Don Callis on commentary here. Andrade had really nice drop kick, chops on the outside on Tomohiro Ishii's offense here. My notes just repeatedly say chops. So we saw chops into a nice water tackle. We saw more chops in the corner, backdrop suplex. I did enjoy how Andrade was putting Ishii into the table. And this week with his infamous girl spot, he got a snack, which is a nice variation there and a good photo. And I believe that was the independent wrestler Becca. We did see the Three Amigos, but that was reversed, which I quite enjoyed. We did see the Three Amigos eventually get hit there, of course, because it's Andrade. Tomohiro Ishii had a really good lariat, but that was kicked out. There were some really good forearms back and forth. Now Andrade, he's going to bring those lethal knees, which he did. That was kicked out. We also saw the double moonsault, but again ECE kicked out there. Now we did see that very sharp back elbow, which then did get kicked out, but the DM, the finisher of this year from Andrade, the DM, did get the win here. So I really enjoyed this match, and that back elbow is so much fun. I love it when Andrade hits it. We did see Bandito appear, and now that is set up for Revolution, which I think could be a match of the year contender. We'll see. I'm very excited about that one. So that was my thoughts on Collision this week. Let me know what you thought, and now let's get into the Dynamite review. So Dynamite kicked off this week with the AEW World Title fight, and that being Kevin Knight versus MJF. So offense-wise, we saw Kevin Knight bringing his great athleticism. So This match started with arm drags, which I quite enjoyed how they sort of started off small and then they got larger and larger as they went back and forth, quite verbose between each other. Now, MJF did target Kevin Knight's ribs, which does play into this episode of Dynamite, so we'll talk about that more towards the end. But I did enjoy Kevin Knight bringing his UFO splash, which was missed at the start there. I did see a really good lariat from Kevin Knight, and that was from the top turnbuckle, and was a really good drop kick, and he does a really great DDT. Now, I did note here how there was a UFO slash where MJF actually kicked the ref towards the rope. Now, eventually that was kicked out. Now, a highlight here of the match was the coast to coast by Kevin Knight. It was really enjoyable. But before that, we had a really great lariat that went from inside to outside of the ring. Now, the UFO splash was attempted again, but there was knees up from MJF to get the win via the Heat Seeker. But I really enjoyed this match as an opening match. Kevin Knight is getting some really great opportunities and he's showing off it's a real showcase for him. I really see Kevin Knight winning a singles title this year, but overall, I really did enjoy this as an opener. Match 2 for Dynamite this week was a tag match, and that was Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus the Dogs, that being Connors and Gabe Kidd. So this was really about the Dogs at the start here. We were straight into the action there. Gabe Kidd on the stairs, hanging up Orange Cassidy. He did get out of that, but then Clark Connors bringing that really great spear took Orange Cassidy through the announce table. I did note too some really great action there from Gabe Kidd with a really good lariat. Fisherman's Buster as well. I did really note here how Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors was really good at cutting off the ring to stop Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin from getting the tag. I really enjoyed that in this match. Eventually, Orange Cassidy was able to get a hot tag, and of course, that Orange Cassidy offense, you're going to see a really good PK, you're going to see the beach breaks. There was a really good Stun Dog Millionaire and Code Red combination as well. Darby Allin was able to bring his coffin drop from the inside out. We did see the Orange Punch here for the win, but what was really important to note here was the debut of David Finlay here in All Elite Wrestling. So excited to see what he brings now that we've established this is the Dogs, this is the three of them, they are all elite. See where they go. Looks like they're going to be in a bit of a feud still with probably the conglomeration and Darby Allin, but whether it's trio titles, that would be really good. But David Finlay, I'm very excited to see what he does now that he is all elite. The next match for Dynamite was the Brawling Birds, that being Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter versus The Inspiration. This was their debut on TV for AEW, and that's Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, or Mackay, depends which part of Australia you're from. So this was all about the Birds bringing their offense. Basically, we saw chops in the corner, chops in the ring, a double suplex, double lariat, and in the end here, in a very quick match, we saw two birds, one stone for the win. I've been pretty vocal about how I want the Birds to have the tag titles ASAP. For the Inspiration, being Australian, I am a bit biased towards them. I would like to see a real redemption arc or story for the Inspiration. I would love to see them just be wrestlers and just show us what they can do. We've seen bits and pieces, especially from Cassie Lee over the years. I would just love to see them just shed their current gimmick, if you like, and just show us what they are as pure wrestlers. And I think that would be a really good story too. So this is the platform, this is the place to show the world that they can wrestle. The fourth match for Dynamite was Adam Page versus Marty Snow. This is very quick here. Cage match has this at 10 seconds. That must be one of the fastest matches in Dynamite history. We saw the buckshot lariat for the win here. This match was about setting up the main event, which is the trios match, the AEW World Trios title. So we'll talk about that more shortly. But that's what this one was all about. The fifth match for Dynamite this week was Jon Moxley versus Hechicero. So more of the Death Riders versus the Don Callis family. So we're building towards that Revolution match between Moxley and Takeshita. So I did enjoy Moxley taunting Hechicero in this match. We did see chops in the crowd. One thing I really enjoyed too was the back and forth in this match between, we had lariats, we had shoulder tackle, shoulder blocks, we had chops between the two. I really enjoyed Hechisera's armbar as well, and how he was rolling Mox around the ring. On the Mox side, he's bringing his cutter, and that was on the ropes. We saw good armbar from Mox, chops back and forth, lariat. Now we did see the stomp here, and we saw a running knee too, which I wonder if that's a bit of a call there to Takeshita. And we did see the Death Rider there for the win. So I had a lot of fun with this match. The crowd really enjoyed this one too. I'm just really keen now to get to Revolution for Takeshita versus Moxley. Now we're heading towards the end stretch here of Dynamite. So the sixth match for Dynamite was the next world title fight, and that was between the champ Tekla and Thunder Rosa. So we did see here chops in the corner from Thunder Rosa. We saw chops on the barricade from Tekla. I did enjoy the combination there with the knees in the corner from Thunder Rosa. I've actually really always enjoyed that from her. I do enjoy now the tarantula hold there by Tekla. With its hair or Julia Hart doing that, I quite enjoy that. I did enjoy Thunder Rose's drop kick. We did have some really good elbow strikes there on the top turnbuckle as well. Thunder Rosa did hit the Fire Thunder driver, but that was kicked out by Tekla. Tekla's on another level at the moment. This is why she is the champ. We saw spider suplex. We saw a spear. Now the stomp was missed here, and Thunder Rosa got in a cutter. However, there was another spear hit and into the stomp to win and retain. So Tekla, she, like I say, is on another level, and I'm really enjoying her work at the moment. And looking forward next week to previewing Revolution with you guys, because that 2 out of 3 falls match I think is going to be really good between her and Statlander. And then the main event for Dynamite this week, and that'll be my Dynamite match of the week and the match of the week, was the AEW World Trios titles, and that was between the champs, Jet Set Radio, Adam Page, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey versus the Don Callis family. And this is quite a combination here. We've got Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis, and as we would know, that Aussie Open is Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. So great to see them back together here. We were straight into the action as well. So in this match, we saw Speedball getting some great crowd reactions. Kevin Knight, he's backing up again from that world title fight at the start, and his ribs now are bandaged. So that's something to note as well. We saw Kyle Fletcher put Kevin Knight into the barricade and stomp on those ribs. Hangman Adam Page, he was bringing the great energy and great combinations in this match. We saw some really great trios combination by the champs there. Davis, he was also stretching Kevin Knight and working those ribs. From Kyle Fletcher, I'm a big fan. He's bringing those crisp kicks. This was bringing his lariat, and we did see a really good drop kick from Okada, which is to be expected. Now, Speedball, we did see him with a really good missile drop kick, and I wanted to note how much I really do enjoy watching Kyle Fletcher and Speedball mix it up, which is when we get to the preview next week, I'll talk more about that. We did see the Deadeye here, but that was saved. Speedball brought a Hurricane Rana as well, but MJF did get involved here as well, taking out Hangman from the match. Now, to end this match, we did see the Rainmaker from Okada, a pile driver by Mark Davis to get the win, and we've got new champs. So I didn't expect that, and we didn't expect this match either. We just saw advertised before, leading up to Dynamite, that we were going to get Hangman in action this week. So that all built throughout Dynamite, which is something different. So it'd be interesting to see how these trios titles play into the Don Callis family. We've obviously got to be attention to with Takeshita and Okada, and Kyle Fletcher's sort of in the middle there, but I'm very excited that Mark Davis got the pin. He's been really great this year for AEW, wrestling every week, and I'm a big fan of his. So let me know what you thought. What was your favorite match of Dynamite this week, and what was your favorite match of the week? But otherwise, let's get into the next week preview. Coming up next week for AEW Collision and Dynamite, we've got Collision first, so we will have Claudio Castagnoli versus Takeshita. So I'm looking forward to that. That could be really good. Those guys are great workers, and Don Callis' family and Death Riders is still building. So looking forward to that one. We're going to have Gravity back. Bandito's brother versus Swerve Strickland, so probably more heel tactics there from Swerve. And then we've got a $200,000 four-way tag team match, and that's going to be Private Party, the Outrunners, the Swirl, and LFI as well. So returning LFI, so that's going to be great. Looking forward to that. And then we're also going to have an AEW World Tag Team match between FDR and the Rascals, who they did pin FDR to win the right for that match. So in the Eliminator, so that should be a lot of fun. I thought maybe the Rascals was going to be a revolution. So we'll see. We'll see if anything dramatic happens here. But yeah, no, really looking forward to that one. On the Dynamite side, so this is going to be so good. Kyle Fletcher versus Mike Bailey. I'm very keen for this one. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and that's the TNT title. Whether they do the switch, I don't know. I feel like it's too early for Kyle Fletcher to lose the title, but you just never know with this TNT title. So yeah, really looking forward to checking that one out. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Next week, we're going to have, like I said earlier, for Match Review Monday, The Kingdom versus Bullet Club from 2015. The week after that, we're actually doing a match for Revolution Week. We've got the first ever a match from the first ever Revolution will be on Match Review Monday. So looking forward to you guys checking that one out. But otherwise, you have a good week, and we'll catch you next time.